Hello and welcome to Out and About. I'm Diane Gonzalez. Two local theater companies are celebrating anniversaries this year. In the next segment, we'll tell you about Tada's 15th anniversary season. But we're going to start with the Flatwater Shakespeare Company, which is celebrating its 5th year of presenting free Shakespeare in Lincoln Parks. And joining me to talk about Flatwater Shakespeare and the season ahead are Steve Bueller. He is a co-founder of Flatwater Shakespeare, also the education director, and something called a dramaturg, which we will explain later.
Okay.
Michelle Zinke is now the current board chair, and she's also the stage manager for all the productions.
Not all of them, but quite a few.
Quite a few of
Most
them.
of the summer productions.
And we are delighted to have here Megan Higgins, and she is in the Flatwater Shakespeare production for her 2nd year. She is an actress and works at Nelnet. Megan, good to see you.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to start with you, Stephen. Let's talk a little bit about the history of the company. The first show was in 2001, and so this is going to be the 15th year of shows.
15th year at Flatwater Shakespeare. We started in 2001, and we started where we're performing this summer, which is what we've called the Swan Theater, thanks to the swans in the nearby pond at Wayuka Cemetery. But it's these wonderfully renovated stables, and during the renovation, we had to kind of go on the road, a little bit like the characters in As You Like It are in exile for a while. But since it's a comedy, they get to go back home at the end of the play, and we get to come back home to the Swan at Wayuka, which is the most wonderful kind of approximation of an Elizabethan inn yard, the kind of theater for which Shakespeare wrote these plays, the kind of stagecraft for which he wrote them.
Well, that's what Doug Evans and his daughter Suzanne saw when they first went to the stables.
And
It was not an ideal place to perform, but it was perfect in many ways.
You cannot replicate a physical space that's suited to that sort of close connection with the audience. And Bob Hall was captivated by the space, despite the disrepair it was in back in 2001. And we started with a production of Twelfth Night, another Shakespearean comedy featuring a resourceful young woman who disguises herself as a male. And Suzanne was our lead actor then. And we simply haven't looked back, except when we were on the road doing the free Shakespeare tours, and again, the sense of homecoming, the sense of excitement, and the sense of seeing that it still really works so beautifully as a theater space has just been wonderful to realize through the rehearsal process.
Now, you haven't been there since 2010. It was a 4-year restoration project. For people who haven't been there for 5 years, what is going to be different at the Swan?
First and foremost, indoor plumbing.
Yay.
The age of the porta potties is done. Also, some of the spaces even have actual air conditioning. So at those times in the summer when the heat and the humidity gets a little bit intense, people can take a brief refuge anyway. But mostly it's just been a nice sprucing up, a deep, deep respect for the original outline of what was first the stables with the hayloft, and then after the horse and hearse era moved on to more mechanized groundskeeping, a couple of garages built to the side, another garage to complete it, and this beautiful space where actors and audiences collaborate in bringing Shakespeare's works to life.
All right, well, let's talk about this summer's production. Michelle, I think you came on board Flatwater Shakespeare in its 2nd year, so you've
Third
been
year,
there
2003. Yes.
This year's show is As You Like It. Tell us a little bit about the play.
Well, as Steve said, it's a wonderful show. It features several characters that go into exile, 2 different groups actually, a duke and his followers, the Foresters, and then also 2 young women who go into exile, and then another small group of a young gentleman who go into exile. So as with many of Shakespeare's shows, there are several people who collide in the forest. There's different storylines that all come together beautifully. Megan is one of the exiled young ladies in the show. But it is one of the comedies. It is a delightful story. It works really well for outdoor shows, I think, because so much of it is set outdoors. It's fairly easy to translate that then into the show. And we are excited to be back in the Swan. One of the changes is they put the original bricks back in the courtyard, which makes a nice playing space. And we build a small stage, but there are the bricks there as one of the historic components, which is very nice. And then with this show, we go on tour, as we have the past 4 years, and we're very excited about that. And we show up at different parks and outdoor venues and create a stage area every night. So we'll start out at the Swan, and then we'll go back on tour again, just due to the popularity that we've seen the last 4 years.
Now, all the shows start at 7 p.m.
That's
Again,
correct.
they run June 4th through the 28th. They're going to be at a lot of different locations. You mentioned starting at the Swan,
Yes.
ending at the Swan, but lots of parks in between.
That's
and we're going to be showing those on the screen as we talk about the productions. We'll go through the whole list of parks. It includes Trago, Roberts, Densmore, Belmont, Bethany, Cooper. You'll see them all there on the screen, so make sure you write down the date. Megan, this is your second year. You tell us about your character in this year's play.
My character is Rosalind. She's a young lady whose father was banished by her uncle into the forest of Arden, and at the beginning of the play she also gets banished, and her cousin decides to go along with her, and they realize that it's pretty dangerous for two young women just to be out on the road in a forest alone, so I decide to protect us that I should dress up like a man. And I do that and happen to meet the love of my life in the forest and get to play some fun games with him when he doesn't realize I am who I am.
Now, what do you enjoy about being in the Shakespeare productions?
I love the outdoor aspect of it. It's really fun to just have that closeness with the audience, the feel of being outdoors amongst the woods when you're out in the parks. The historic stables are just gorgeous. This is my first year getting to perform at the stables, and so it's an amazing feeling. And then being able to work with Bob Hall and with the great cast and crew that he brings together. He has an amazing talent just to gather the most wonderful people together, so it's a great experience from the start to the end.
Unless some people are put off when they hear the name Shakespeare. They think, oh, I'm just not going to understand it. It's very relatable.
It is, and one of the things that Bob is excellent at is working with his actors. So at every point, the actors are thinking in terms of, why am I saying these particular words as this character to these other characters, both and these onstage audience members, people overhearing these conversations, and also not pretending that the real audience isn't there. Shakespeare is designed for that sort of give and take. And when actors have this clarity as to what they're saying and why, and the other actors are listening, realizing this character is trying to get through to me in this way, that understanding gets communicated beautifully to all the audiences overhearing. So Bob stresses understanding of language, clarity of language, the emotional reality of the situations that Shakespeare invents for his characters, but recognizing that those emotional realities get communicated through words. And so as long as the words are presented clearly, forcefully, truthfully, people pick up and are delighted to discover, I got it, I understand this, which I think somewhere Will Shakespeare is very pleased to hear that.
That's right. I have seen young children in the parks, absolutely captivated.
Absolutely. And the parks, the summer production in general, being a comedy, we draw audiences of all ages. In some of the parks, we've even had young toddlers there. And I remember, I think it was at Trago Park last year, there was a toddler that was perched in one of the seats, and he tracked every moment of that show, watching people enter and exit, and seemed to be enthralled with it. And so really, it really is a show for all ages. And one of the things we love is that we go into so many different communities around Lincoln, and we are grateful for the support of the Parks Department with that. And then we have 2 other outdoor locations that we will be at as well. So it's a lot of fun for us as a company, and it's a lot of fun, I think, for the audiences as well, and something that can be very community specific and be all around Lincoln, which is important to us.
Now, as an actress, do you enjoy that relationship with the audience and being really close to those people who are watching the play?
Yep, I love watching the eyes light up, and you have those moments where you do get to speak to the audience lots of times in Shakespeare, so it's really fun to connect with them and be so close to them. And especially it's really fun to watch the kids in the parks as you can see them out at a distance going to head to the playground, and then they wander over interested in the play, and you just watch them become captivated with the story and want to find out and be on that journey with you.
Now, they're all free. We are asking for a suggested donation, of course. I say we because I should, full disclosure here, I'm on the board. But there's also free ice cream.
There is, and when we say we provide the shows free, we mean free. We gratefully accept any donations that people can provide so that we are able to continue to produce these shows. But it's a free performance, and then we've partnered every year of the tour with Ivanacone, who not only provides free ice cream for the patrons, creates a new flavor based on our show, and then that is unveiled at our first night of performances, and then available every night. So it's a free show, free ice cream, all around town in different communities. So it's very exciting for us to be able to provide this to the community.
And now the big question, what exactly is a dramaturg?
A dramaturg is a resource person usually dedicated to the language and the original context for when a play was developed. I don't think Bob Hall needs a dramaturg. Bob is so good with Shakespeare and so good with the visual sense, so good with the theater part, but he enjoys bouncing ideas off of me. So I'm the Watson to his Holmes, I think. I am the cause of brilliance in a, well, no, Bob's brilliant anyway. But it's somebody that the actors can go to, designers can go to get a better sense as to, okay, what did these words mean in Shakespeare's time? What were the family or social dynamics that his audience would take for granted that we need to understand better and then communicate that to the audience?
I want you to talk a little bit briefly about the educational efforts of Flatwater as well, because it's more than a performing arts organization.
Yes, we partner with other groups and organizations providing lectures and support. For example, when the Sheldon Friends of Chamber Music, soon to be again the Lincoln Friends of Chamber Music, brought in the Baltimore Consort with a program of early music, I gave a little background as to the original dramatic context in which the songs appeared. Just this past weekend, when Dulces Voces, our wonderful early music ensemble here in town, did a program of early music, we had Megan and also Emma Gruhl and Cale Yates perform a preview scene from the play to further bring people into the period. And then also every summer we do a youth production where we give people of middle school and high school age the experience of engaging directly with Shakespeare's text. It is edited and sometimes adapted and reworked, and we've done cross-dress type, cross-gender type ideas. But for the most part, it's giving a lot of young people a chance not to get a no-fear translated Shakespeare, but the real thing, and then to work on it through weeks and then actually stage it in front of family, friends, and the general audience. Peyton Alexander is directing the youth production of As You Like It, which will happen in July at the Lincoln Community Foundation
July
Garden.
17th and 18th
All
at the
right.
Lincoln
July
Community
17th and
Foundation
18th.
Garden,
This
another
week.
partner for us.
And he is a graduate, a former participant in the youth program, as is Emma Gruhl, who is the Celia, the cousin of Rosalind and As You Like It this year. So it's wonderful to see people stay with Shakespeare and take it through their school years into their adulthood and into their ongoing engagement with the arts.
And before we go, I do have to say congratulations, Professor Bueller, for
Yes.
being the recipient of a Mayor's Arts Award this year. Congratulations.
Thank you much. That was quite the surprise. On the other hand, anything that will be a further help to getting the word out about Flatwater Shakespeare, which I know is probably the main reason I'm getting the recognition, is a good thing for me. So, but thank you. That's
It
very
is
kind.
well deserved.
Well, very well deserved. Again, As You Like It, 7 p.m. The free performances will run from June 4th through June 28th. They start and end at the Swan Theater, which is the renovated stables at Wyuka. And then they go to a number of Lincoln City Parks, as well as James Arthur Vineyards and First Plymouth, all the way through the month. So we hope you are able to catch one of these free performances. Again, if you'd like more information about Flatwater Shakespeare Company, they have a new website, flatwatershakespearecompany.org. And there's also a phone number you can call if you'd like more information. Thank you all very much, and break a leg.
Thank
Thank you
Dennis.
so much.
And when we come back, we'll tell you about Tada's production of Nonsense and more. Stay with us.
This city isn't what outsiders think. Lincoln has always had the reputation of being a sleepy Midwest city, but not the type of place people think about living, especially young people. We've just never really been the place people dream about. That's about to change. It's time to change perceptions. Exciting things are happening in our city, big things. Our spirit has a renewed sense of energy, and there's enthusiasm in our collective voice. You can feel it in the streets, see it on the skyline, hear it in the ideas of our young entrepreneurs and creative class. This might be a quiet, laid-back city, but but it's buzzing with a flourishing economy and a rich, vibrant culture. Be young, have a booming career, raise a family. You can do it all here, and it just keeps getting better. We're the crossroads of blue skies and bustling progress, the sweet spot of balanced living. It feels good to be here, to be a part of it. In Lincoln, life is right. Now, it's time to let the world know.
Welcome back to Out and About. For 14 years, Tada Productions has been entertaining audiences in Lincoln's historic Haymarket. It's kicking off its 15th anniversary season with the musical Nonsense. And here to tell us more is the Managing Artistic Director, Bob Rook. Bob, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, let's start a little bit about the history of Tada. It started with you and your wife.
My wife and I started it as a sole proprietorship, just as an alternative space to do theater. Did the regional premiere of Jekyll and Hyde the musical. That rolled into other shows that we did, blossomed into partnerships with the Symphony, the International Quilt and Study Center, and Lincoln Parks and Recreation. And it really took off, and I can't believe that we're coming up on our 15th season. We moved into a new space, the Tada Theater down in the Haymarket, 7 years ago. Can you believe that?
Wow.
And we turned it into a nonprofit, and we went to work for the board of directors, so it can go on after I can't.
Now you
How does
mentioned.
that sound?
I don't know if that's possible.
I hope.
You mentioned some of your collaborations. That's one of the things that Tada is known for.
You bet. We've really thinking, and that's very important to us. And I think our roots are firm with collaborations, like I said, with Lincoln Parks and Rec, with the Pinewood Bowl, with the International Quilt and Study Center, and with the Lead Center. And that's been very important to us to do that collaboration with the Lead Center. We didn't do one this last year, but we have one coming up this season, so we're excited about that. So we've done shows in their Carson space, and was also invited to do a Broadway-sized 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee on their main stage. So that was quite an honor to get to do that. So we really enjoy that. And also the Lincoln Symphony and Tada has done collaborations. So it's a good thing. I think it expands the audience base.
And you've also done a lot of regional premieres.
We have. We've done, like I said, Jekyll and Hyde, Forbidden Broadway, and then, as you know, Gilligan's Island, the musical, was a fun regional premiere, and the creators of that show came here to see it. We did It's the Housewives, Happy Days, a new musical, so we enjoy doing that too. I always try to see what's coming up and what's going on in Chicago or Minneapolis or at the New Music Festival, and to see what we can bring here. And it brings a lot of people to Lincoln, and I don't know if a lot of people know that or not, but when we do regional premieres, we've had patrons from Minneapolis, Denver, all over the place come to Lincoln to see what it is we're doing, and that's great for everybody, everybody concerned.
Now you're bringing back a favorite to kick off your 15th season. Nonsense is always a lot of fun.
That's one of your favorites.
It is.
Nonsense is one of your favorites.
It
And
is.
yes,
Little
Sister Mary
Catholic
Amnesia.
school, little Catholic school girl here. So.
Well, we asked our patrons to vote on two of the shows that they really enjoyed that Tada has done, and Nonsense was one of them. And I've done Nonsense 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nonsense 1 is the best. And he actually has tweaked the script since we did it last.
Oh,
So
really?
it'll be a little bit of a tweaking of his script, but it still has the great Sisters of Hoboken.
That's right.
And Sister Mary Amnesia with Sister Marionette. She will carry around Sister Marionette. And we just got done filming. There's a movie that takes place as part of the musical, and we just got done walking through the Haymarket on Farmer's Market, which you can get anything you want if you're dressed as a nun walking through the. No, I'm just.
Really?
No, it was just great. It was great. We shot that, and the mayor's done a nice cameo for us, and so we're looking forward to showing that. And it's going to be fun. It's definitely a crowd
Now,
pleaser.
the mayor's involved in some sort of classic children's game. Is
Yes.
This, okay. So
Yes.
we don't want to say too much.
No, we don't. I don't want to give anything away other than he was a great sport. So
Well-
we certainly appreciate that, and it was great fun. The sisters welcomed him with open arms, so it was great fun. And so we're looking to getting things kicked off with Nonsense with a familiar musical, and I'm staging it in a little different way than what we have. So if the audience wants to come and have a little quiz with Sister Mary Amnesia, they'll even walk away with some prizes.
Oh, that
Hey!
that just makes me
There-
nervous thinking of being quizzed by a nun again
Does
after
it?
all these years.
After all that therapy.
My heart's
Yeah,
No therapy required.
It's nothing that will traumatize them. It's just that she quizzes about the show of what they've seen so far, and if they answer correctly, they get all sorts of fun little prizes.
Gold stars?
They get kazoos.
Oh,
I know. I thought about
All
that
right.
the other day. It's almost dangerous to put an audience full of kazoos before the show's over, but we'll see what happens.
Especially around nuns.
Around sisters, that's right, yeah.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about the rest of the season.
Got a cram-packed season. We're going to do that, and then we're bringing back the Great American Trailer Park Musical. So I guess if you like Flan and Pink Flamingos, we did this show in 2009. We opened on a Thursday, and by Saturday it had sold 4 weeks out. And it's really a great little sleeper hit. It's fun. It's rockabilly music in it, and I kind of call it South Park meets Desperate Housewives. So it's great fun, great music. And then we're going to do a first for Lincoln, the Addams Family, a new musical. And we're really
That would
excited
be
to get
cool.
to do that. So you can do that with me. Can you do that? You remember da-da-da-dun? Well, here, let's try it again. Da-da-da-dun. There you go. Timing. It's all
Got
the
it.
timing. Yay. So we're excited to get to do that, and we're going to do that in October because great Halloween ticket.
Oh, yes.
And then you know the comedy Lend Me a Tenor?
Yes, I do. I've seen it a couple times.
It's great. You know, my wife did that show for the Nebraska Repertory Theater when we found out she was pregnant. Isn't that amazing? But if
and your daughter's now in college.
And my daughter's now in college. Thank you very much for dating me. That's great. That's nice. But yeah, we're going to do that in December. We thought that would be fun. Mistaken Identity, Quick Change. You know, a lot of fun there. And then we are going to go back to the Lead Center in the new renovated Carson space. Bill Steffen and I talked about different shows that we should do, and we want to do Forever Plaid in that space. We think it'll be great if you like 5-part tight harmony, 50s music. That's the show to see. And in that space, I think it'll work really well.
that'll be
So
nice.
Bill and I are excited about that. Then an original show called Don't Touch That Dial. If you like radio shows, like Who's on First, What's on Second, I don't know who's on third. That's the show for you to come and see.
We didn't rehearse any of this.
No, this is great. I appreciate you playing along. And then Man of La Mancha. I'm excited about this. Bill Shomos, who's the director of UNL's opera department, he played Sweeney Todd for us, which was really an anchor for one of the pillars of the Tada shows. We did that with the Nebraska Symphony and with Bill, and we wanted to invite him back. We talked about what would be a really good show, and we're going to do Man of La Mancha, and he's going to play Don Quixote for us. And so that's
That'll
a
be
good
great.
ticket, good collaboration as well. So that's our season. It's a pretty good lineup. We're also going to do shows on our showcase stage. We're going to introduce stand-up comedy back to Lincoln again. We're going to do
Great.
stand-up comedy on a regular basis.
Are you going to take
and
the
then
stage?
I'm going to take the stage, and I'm going to do a couple workshops too. So people who
Great.
want to learn a little bit about stand-up, we'll invite them to
Yeah, I
come
think
in
we
and
got
do
some
that.
guys around here in the studio that could use some lessons.
I see. Yes. Yes. Everyone is welcome. And then we're going to do our Taste of Wine and Broadway series, which has been really popular for people who like to just come back, sit back, and enjoy Broadway music and cabaret settings. So we're trying to do different things down in the Haymarket that's quality, affordable theater. That's our goal. And hopefully Lincoln will continue to support us.
Now, I wrote down very few questions because I know I don't have to ask many. You just go. You just
Well,
take
I didn't know
off.
how much time we had. So
That's it.
are we good? Are we good? I do appreciate you having me on.
We do want to remind people Nonsense, 7:30 p.m. Thursdays through Saturdays, 2 p.m. Sundays. It runs June 11th through the 28th at Tada Theater. It's 438 Tada or tadaproductions.info. And thank you very much, Mr. Rook, and congratulations on 15 years.
Appreciate your support.
We'll
Thank you,
see you
Diane.
at the theater.
All right.
And when we come back, we'll tell you about plans for this year's Uncle Sam Jam and more. Stay with us.
This city isn't what outsiders think. Lincoln has always had the reputation of being a sleepy Midwest city, but not the type of place people think about living, especially young people. We've just never really been the place people dream about. That's about to change. It's time to change perceptions. Exciting things are happening in our city, big things. Our spirit has a renewed sense of energy, and there's enthusiasm in our collective voice. You can feel it in the streets, see it on the skyline, hear it in the ideas of our young entrepreneurs and creative class. This might be a quiet, laid-back city, but it's buzzing with a flourishing economy and a rich, vibrant culture. Be young, have a booming career, raise a family. You can do it all here, and it just keeps getting better. We're the crossroads of blue skies and bustling progress, the sweet spot of balanced living. It feels good to be here, to be a part of it. In Lincoln, life is right. Now, it's time to let the world know.
Welcome back to Out and About. Jeff Mull joins us now from the Convention and Visitors Bureau. And the first thing we want to talk about is the Uncle Sam Jam.
What do we want to talk about? It's a big event.
It's a big event. It's going to be July 3rd this
Yes,
year, which
yes.
means then on the 4th you can sleep in, go to all your family events. The big deal this year is Josh Hoyer and the Shadow Boxers are going to be there.
Yep.
They're going to start playing at 6:15, and that'll be really cool out there.
Yeah, basically from 1 to 10 o'clock with this event. It's an amazing time to get out and be involved around Oak Lake Park. There's a lot of great things like three-legged races, a sponge relay, just a great time to be out there. And
There's also something called a Gaga pit for the kids.
what's a Gaga pit?
I don't
Do you know what the
that
Gaga
is. You have
pit
to go
is?
out there and find
And
out.
we'll have to experience it. And of course, the Zambelli fireworks, a Lincoln tradition. And you know what? This was an inconvenience one year where we couldn't do our celebration on July 4th. And who knew July 3rd would be the perfect time to do this? You can keep your family traditions on the 4th, get out a night early and celebrate with the city of Lincoln. And thanks so much for what the city does to make this event happen, because it's truly a Lincoln tradition.
There's plenty of parking also. The Star Trans shuttle, we usually take that from the Haymarket parking garage, works great. So lots of information on the website at lincoln.ne.gov. The Uncle Sam Jam, July 3rd. And we're going to talk about a whole bunch of music now. Summer
are.
in Lincoln is music time.
It is. It is. It's a fun time, and the 5th Annual Veterans Freedom Music Festival is coming up at the VA Center out in East Lincoln, the Lincoln VA campus, 600 South 70th Street. Great chance from noon to 4 to be involved, 5 local bands, plenty of kids activities. The engagement between veterans and kids is something fun to watch, and it's a great educational day for those that maybe weren't associated with the military, but it's a great way to say thanks to the veterans. A lot of great music, a lot of great stories, and just a fun event to be a part of.
And check out this month's episode of Live and Learn, because they do a whole segment on this. So you can find out more by watching the Aging Partners Live and Learn show.
That's right. We might see Dave Polson on there, who's
I'm
very
afraid we
instrumental
will.
in this event.
I'm afraid
so.
we will. All right, we're going to talk about all the summer music series, and we're going to do this in order, starting with the granddaddy of them all, Jazz in June.
Jazz in June will hit the Sheldon Sculpture Garden. This is a free event, Tuesdays throughout the month of June. This year, for those of you that want to have the option to be at VIP, you can buy VIP tickets, and those include a guaranteed space in the VIP section right in front, free food, and a meet and greet with each of the performers throughout the month of June.
And those are available from the Lead Center. I think that's a great idea. You know, we all need to pitch in to keep
Yes.
Jazz in June going.
Yes.
So when you see that donation bucket going around at Jazz in June, put some money in there, because we can't take this for granted. It costs money to put on this series.
It is, and a lot of the events that we talk to people about on a monthly basis, or even what I get a chance to on radio talk about every week, a lot of the events we do in Lincoln are free, and I think sometimes we take those things for granted. So yes, when the bucket goes around, when the tray goes around, or you can donate a can of food or wherever it may be, think twice about it and definitely try to take care of that if you can.
Definitely. A new music series. This takes jazz on further into the month of July, and this is a new event at Tower Square.
13th and P, Tower Square. If you've not been there, you cannot miss it when you're in downtown Lincoln. It's an art masterpiece. It's a beautiful place to be. People like Daryl White Trio, the Jazzy Truth, the Jazzocracy, and Ed Archibald are just a few of the artists you'll get a chance to see.
So that's Tuesdays in July. Put that on your calendar.
Yes.
Just take Jazz in June and keep going. Lincoln Community Foundation Garden Series, Performance Series is continuing. They're at the Foundation Garden. It's always a great lunchtime escape.
It is, and if you're within about a 2-block radius, you can hear the music. You can just want to be over there. It's a great place to go over the noon hour and enjoy some great music. June 10th through August 26th. So that's going to take us through the month of July, through the month of August. Should be a lot of fun.
Now we've done Tuesday, Wednesday, we're up to Thursday, and that means Stransky Park. I couldn't go last week, but I drove by and it was packed. It was a beautiful night, and it just made me smile.
Yeah, things are going to get going on June 11th with Bobby Lane. There's a Lincoln tradition as well. It's going to end up July 9th with the Sandy Creek Bluegrass Band. This is a great time, 17th and Harrison. 10 to 12 concerts this year. This is an expansion for the folks at Stransky.
That's right. KZUM is doing a great job
Yes.
of organizing this. New on Thursday nights, the Summer Blend concert series at the Rail Yard, which runs through July 2nd.
And thanks to our friends at the Downtown Lincoln Association for putting this together and maintaining and utilizing a brand new space in the Haymarket.
Okay, let's move on to Fridays now. For the 4th year, Here Lincoln concerts featuring some of the best Nebraska musicians, free. And this year they're moving to Tower Square.
Yeah, for years we were at 13th and O in the plaza there in front of the bank on O Street. We're moving down to Tower Square, the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce. A lot of great local bands will be featured. The Lincoln Chamber is in partnership with the Cooper Foundation as well as Here Nebraska.
Now, reminder Friday nights, then it's Friday nights live out at South Point, and make sure you give that donation to the Child Advocacy Center out there. And then coming up in July, a big summer tradition continues with the Lincoln Municipal Band.
Probably one of the best ways to wrap up a weekend in my mind is to go out and set up the Schildnick Band Shell at Antelope Park, take in some music, 7 o'clock on Sundays. That will run July 5th through August 15th.
They have wonderful themes like hot cars and cool music, sentimental journey. It's a great time there at Antelope Park. All right, that's it for the music series, but
Yep.
we do have a continuing event every June. Celebrates the end of slavery.
Yes, it's a free celebration presented by the Malone Community Center commemorating the end of slavery in America. Live music, health and human service resource fair, kids activities, foods, and much, much more. June 20th, Trago Park, 22nd and U.
And while we're talking about the Lone Malone Center, they are doing something new this year. There's a symposium on African American art, culture, and history. 3 programs coming up. The first one is going to be about the history of the Malone Center. The second one is about artist Aaron Douglas, who graduated from UNL. And then the photographs of John Johnson will be the third program, and Ed Zimmer is going to present some
excellent.
of those wonderful photos that he collaborated on a book with. So check it out. It's new at the Malone Center, the Malone Symposium.
Sounds like a lot of fun. June 8th, July 14th, and August 18th for your calendar.
All right. Farmers markets. Along with live music, summer means farmers markets. And here is the current list. Go.
All right, get your pen out. Haymarket, 7th and P on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon. We have the Bodie Aftermarket at 17th and Sumner.
That's Saturday afternoon, so
That's
you can do
right.
farmers market all day.
Go to Sundays, the Old Cheney Farmers Market down there at about 56th and Old Cheney, 55th and Old Cheney. Jazz in June, 12th and R. Tuesdays in June from 5 to 7. And Fallbrook for our friends in Northwest Lincoln, Northwest Lancaster County. Thursdays from 4:30 to 8. So every point in our community seems like it's having a farmer's market, maybe a few others out there as well.
The University Place has had one in the past. It's been on Wednesdays from 3 to 7. I hear that's going to start up a little later in June, but don't know for sure. But I'm sure you can find out just by going over to
Yeah.
University Place.
Our
checking it
website,
out.
we might have it too, so stay tuned on that one.
All right. Let's go out to Air Park for another one of these collegiate student design competitions. This sounds really interesting.
Yeah, the Formula SAE Collegiate Design Competition is for engineering students from across the globe. We have visitors from international countries. We have visitors from the United States that come in for this. Basically, college students that get a chance to put together a formula-based race car from the ground up. They come out to Lincoln's Air Park and they test it. They go through sales competition, they go through design, they go through actual on-the-track competition. And the reason I know so much about this is the Convention and Visitors Bureau, our office, was instrumental in bringing this to Lincoln. They love Lincoln as a destination, and who knew that all that flat space out at the west ramp of the airport could be utilized for something more than airplanes. And of course, we'll be doing our air show in 2016 on that same pad. So stop out for the Formula SAE competition.
It takes them 12 months to get this all done.
It is. It's interesting, the folks that come from overseas, like the Japanese team, everything comes over in these giant crates. You know, they have to ship it on a boat to get here.
Wow.
And they basically drop the crate off at the air park, and they just basically take the nails out, and out comes their car, and they're ready to go. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, we've got another new event featuring cars out at what's being called the North Haymarket Festival and Sports District. And I had to ask you what that is.
Yes, and another event that we were instrumental in bringing in. This took 3 years to get good guys to
Wow.
consider Lincoln, Nebraska, and we went from the time that the arena was coming out of the ground, and we did our best to try to sell them on the festival space, which we know, which is the lot to the northwest of Pinnacle Bank Arena. The reason we went with the definition of North Haymarket Festival and Sports District, we're going to bridge together the festival space, the parking lot for Pinnacle Bank Arena, and Haymarket Park's parking area as well. So we're hoping for upwards of 800 to 1,000 cars from across the country for this event.
Wow.
And this is a first-year event, so if you're listening out there and looking for something a little bit different to do this summer, come out as a spectator, because I promise you, if we make this event go off right this first year, we're really hoping for a 2, maybe 3-day show next year. So
That'd be great.
this is a great organization. Good Guys is probably one of the top organizations that put on car shows, and just a lot of great automotive history as well.
Because they're good guys.
They are, and I have to thank Speedway Motors for their incredible partnership on this event as well.
The annual trail trek that is coming up, actually the day after this. You could do Good Guys on Saturday and then do trail trek on Sunday.
That's right. This is an amazing time. A great fun, family fitness. 4 tours offered throughout different regions of our community. Helmets are required, always, when you're riding a bike, and the proceeds benefit the Great Plains Trail Network.
Something fun for kids at Morrill Hall. Our friend John Winkle's house, whom we've never met, but we like to say his name.
We do.
The former Smithsonian volunteer. He's going to do What's the Dirt on Soil on June 13th and July 11th, Pond Life.
Okay, so what's the dirt on soil and pond life? And I see here that it's a lot of hands-on activities.
That's right.
So your kids are going to get a little bit dirty. Send them prepared. Should be a lot of fun. Very educational.
Absolutely. Everything at Morrill Hall is
Is
great. No Coast Derby girls are going to be doing a big bout at the Icebox.
About at the Icebox.
Bout.
Roller derby's a big deal, and the No Coast Derby Girls are a women's flat track roller derby club organization, very successful on a national scale. They've had bouts this year at Pinnacle Bank Arena. They're going to settle back into the Icebox. They had a long stand at Pershing Center.
Yes, they did.
So this is a great chance to stop out. They do have free admission for youth 10 and under. So if you don't think it's family friendly, give it a shot. They're doing a lot of things to try to get kids involved.
Sounds like fun. We do want to mention Little Mermaid Junior coming to the Lincoln Community Playhouse, and this is part of the Penguin Project. It brings young artists with special needs together with peer mentors to create a theater production. Last year's show,
Yes.
Annie Jr.
Right.
won the Event of the Year for the
Ooh.
Mayor's Arts Awards.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Try to check that out at the Playhouse, lincolnplayhouse.com. You'll find out more information
Looks
about
good.
the Penguin Project. And we're going to wrap up today with the famous words, you're going out there a youngster, but you've got to come back a star.
42nd Street?
That could be it.
42nd Street at Pinewood Bowl. This is the 66th annual summer musical for Pinewood Bowl, and an amazing
66
long-standing
years.
tradition. And this will be a lot of fun. The memorable scores you might remember were In the Money, You're Getting to Be a Habit Without Me, or With Me, and Lullaby of Broadway, and of course 42nd Street. That's an amazing hit that so many people know. So we're going to pray for good weather. Hope everything works out at Pinewood Bowl for this production.
It's a huge, huge volunteer effort, that's
It
for
is.
sure.
It is, and I'm sure they could use some more volunteers.
And people to come out and see the show.
Yes, we can't have these things without the people of Lincoln supporting them. So
Absolutely. And there is no shortage of things to do.
there is not.
How can people find out more?
Lincoln.org is our website. You can give us a call at 434-5348. That is our visitor center down in 7th and P. If you're down there for the farmers market, stop into our visitor center. We've got tons of great visitor information.
And free water.
Free water. It's cold too. That's a good thing.
Well, thank you very much, Jeff. And when we come back, more from what's going on at Pinewood Bowl and Pinnacle Bank Arena. Stay with us.
This city isn't what outsiders think. Lincoln has always had the reputation of being a sleepy Midwest city, but not the type of place people think about living, especially young people. We've just never really been the place people dream about. That's about to change. It's time to change perceptions. Exciting things are happening in our city, big things. Our spirit has a renewed sense of energy, and there's enthusiasm in our collective voice. You can feel it in the streets, see it on the skyline, hear it in the ideas of our young entrepreneurs and creative class. This might be a quiet, laid-back city, but it's buzzing with a flourishing economy and a rich, vibrant culture. Be young, have a booming career, raise a family. You can do it all here, and it just keeps getting better. We're the crossroads of blue skies and bustling progress, the sweet spot of balanced living. It feels good to be here, to be a part of it. In Lincoln, life is right. Now, it's time to let the world know.
Welcome back to Out and About. Tom Lorenz joins us now, and we're taping this on June 2nd. Last night was the first Pinewood Bowl show of the season.
Boy, and we had beautiful weather. We had Lindsay Sterling and Carmen, and it was a great night. We had right in that around 3,500 people. We had a big full moon. It was just a gorgeous night. Lindsay put on a tremendous show. She's quite a virtuoso on the violin, but it was combining violin and dance and video, and it was a really beautiful show. It was a great way to start the season.
And you just wrapped up a big show at the arena as well with Eric Church, the biggest so far?
We did. It was the biggest so far. He had, it was about 15,800 people, and it was tremendous. What a performer. He was so good. The band was good. He was enjoying himself. It was just it was one of those evenings that, you know, the arena was built for, and it did everything it should, and people had a terrific time. I know that, I expect they'll be back at some point in the future. He'll
They
be
were very
around for
happy.
years. They were very happy people.
Everyone was happy.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about some of the new announcements for shows that are coming up. The Lincoln Children's Zoo is celebrating its 50th anniversary in a big way.
And this is a large, free family event. What a cool way to do this. They'll be able to come down to the arena. They'll be able to see Larry the Cable Guy. There'll be some other terrific acts that'll be
They call
playing.
them kindy bands.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, kindy band, and
Kindy
it's
bands.
and these are some big time kindy bands too. So it'll be fun with that. They promise they'll have some animals there, and it's just a free event. It's just a great way to say, for John Chapo and all the people at the zoo, to say thank you to Lincoln for 50 terrific years, and we're just honored to be part of it. It'll be a wonderful all-day event, and lots of great parking around there, and just make a day of it and come down to the arena and it gets your zoo fill. So.
We should mention Lincoln Community Foundation's role in this. They're supporting this in a big way to celebrate their 60th anniversary. So that's nice to do something like that for the families of Lincoln and the whole area.
These are just terrific things that make Lincoln such a special place. So.
All right. Big country star coming in September. That was announced not all that long ago.
Shania Twain has been, she's been playing out in Las Vegas, and we've been working on the show for a while. We're very excited to have her come out. If you remember, Shania was, the biggest thing in country, and then she really did that Taylor Swift kind of thing where she became a little more pop and country and did so well on both sides. To have her come out, the show's selling extremely well. This is, to be able part of that tour. Again, Lincoln is special that we're not the biggest cities out there, and she's coming through. Gavin DeGraw will be an opener for another, and which is an interesting choice. It's not a country choice; it's more of that pop choice. So this will be a very spectacular show, lots of production, and really, really glad that Shania is coming.
Well, let's run down the rest of the Pinewood shows while we're getting started here. Widespread Panic on June 23rd, and that's a favorite.
This will be their third time back, and they do just a tremendous set. These are terrific musicians, and they play long sets. It's kind of jam band type music. It's a perfect setting. Pinewood Bowl. Get out there, relax, just listen to the music, stand up, dance a little bit, and the guys love it. They always look forward to it when they come out.
And we're trying comedy out there.
We are, and Jim Gaffigan is coming out, tremendous comedian, and it's going to be it won't be our only comedian because it's sold out right now. We're working to open up some more seats to find some additional areas for people to sit, but what a tremendous response, and it'll be a really, really nice night.
And Styx and Loverboy are coming August 9th. That was announced not all that long ago.
Right, and Styx and Loverboy, two bands that are just, we grew up with those guys.
Yes,
they're
we
70s bands, and they've got a string of hits between them all. Really, really good rock and roll. And again, the setting, Styx has been out there one time before. Can't wait for these guys to come back. They just put on such a great show, and every place in the country they draw like crazy. So Loverboy, I still remember doing a show at Hilton Coliseum years ago with Loverboy, so good to have them back here in Lincoln.
Prairie Home Companion is coming August 21st. Garrison Keillor is a bit of a comedian. He's a showman.
He is, and he'll have, I'm sure, Guy Noir and all the other great things that they do with it. And they always bring a tremendous a list of musicians that come out, and they can sing and play, and this will be just a lovely evening for them to be able to do it outside. I know they've been here before at the Lead Center, and a unique setting, and pretty much, very much like a great night at Lake Wobegon. So can't wait for them to be out there either.
And Hozier, is that how you?
Hozier, yep.
Hozier.
One of the top artists right now. You've probably seen him on a lot of the different award shows. His concerts are getting tremendous reviews across the country. To be able to pull him over here, late in September, a night before a football game, it'll be a terrific, kind of a big weekend. That's a big time show, and it's an alternative, kind of an indie sort of thing, and Hozier will put on a tremendous performance for us.
Now, how many more shows do we have to announce at Pinewood?
We'll have another one here in the next couple of days, and then we're working on 2 or 3 more, and so we'll be in that range somewhere between 7 and 10 by the time we finish. It's been different to book those shows this year. There's so many festivals and so many different outdoor events. Not like a freestanding, not like Pinewood Bowl, but large festivals, that are playing all over the country. So a lot of the bands are playing summer festivals. So it's been later to get some of these things to book and sort of fit between those larger commitments. But no, we've done very well, and again, people are responding excellently.
All right, keep the announcements coming.
Thank you.
Let's go on to the arena now. Neil Young is the next concert coming up July 11th.
Neil Young has got such a catalog of music, and it's been so pervasive in rock music for years and years, so many different styles. This is a unique opportunity. It's a very small tour for him to come out, and he's got some great backup musicians with him. He's got Willie Nelson's kids. Not only will he play new stuff and certainly cutting edge, he certainly has never shied away from being politically active, but he'll also play great hits and a lot of the stuff that they've done in the past. So a very unique opportunity, something that doesn't happen often. So I encourage people to put that on their calendar. July 11th, just a nice time between vacation days.
That's right. Now, Kenny Chesney is coming July 16th, and there's been a pre-party added to this.
We have Kenny Chesney has his own rum brand. It's called Blue Chair Rum. And so between them and Corona, we'll have a little pre-party out in the festival space where we'll have some large displays set up, certainly a place where you can get a cool beverage and just kind of get ready for the event. There'll be it's so close you can park right in the festival space, walk across at the end of the pre-party right into the arena. It'll be a lot of fun, and Chesney's shows are just it's like one big beach party. So we just want to extend the fun and hopefully people play a little hooky that day and come out a little bit early and enjoy themselves out in the festival space.
Now, another band from our classic rock era, Def Leppard and Foreigner, coming up October 11th.
They are. Def Leppard toured quite extensively a few years back, and they took some years off, and they still have that drawing power. It's, when you think about 80s and 90s, power ballads and hair bands, Def Leppard's at the top of the list. And to have Foreigner and Night Ranger both playing with them will be a really, really nice night. Tickets have sold quite well for this, so I encourage people to make those plans, even though it's quite a ways out. It's October 11th. Start thinking about that now and get those great seats locked in.
Now, we want to mention again that Bulls and Mavericks game coming up October 23rd, although the chances for tickets are pretty slim.
They are. It's a heavily sold out show, but the folks that are coming will get a pretty unique opportunity. We're taping this today, and I think the Bulls are having some unique announcements tomorrow about coaching, so we may be the first ones to sort of welcome their new coach. And they did a great run in the finals this year. Didn't quite make it to the NBA finals, but did very well. So it's really exciting to have the Bulls here, and the Mavericks.
And fitting in Motley Crue and Alice Cooper in between the basketball games. That'll be fun.
You've got to get away from Tim Miles for a day, and what better to do than with Motley Crue and with Alice Cooper. We're trying to figure out, it's been either a long time, or I'm not sure if Alice Cooper has been. It's probably quite a long time since Alice has been in Lincoln, and the kind of the master of shock rock there, but a classic thing to come see Alice. And then Motley Crue, we've had them at Pershing a couple times. Those guys always put on a great show. This is their final tour. They have signed an agreement with themselves. End of December, they're done. So this is one of your last chances to see them. This will not be farewell tour part 1, 2, and 3. This will be, these guys are ending it. So they're terrific. They're at the height of their game. It's time to come see them.
Right, and now you mentioned a basketball practice probably starting sometime in October.
Yeah, I think I think they can start officially practicing late October. We'll probably have some announcements coming from UNL about some opening day type festivities with the men's and women's teams. Kind of introduce the teams. We'll have some games that start to get announced as far as schedule, and we don't have the Big Ten schedule yet, but I'm sure that when that comes out, we'll know some of those as quickly as possible. So looking forward to a great year of basketball. It's always fun, and the atmosphere is just outstanding. So
absolutely. Now we want to mention where you can find out more, pinewoodbowltheater.com. That's where you'll find out the schedule and all the latest announcements, and pinnaclebankarena.com for tickets and concert information. All kinds of information.
It's a great website.
Find out where
Check
you're going
it
to be
out.
sitting and
all kinds of stuff.
all right, Tom, thank you very much.
Diane, thank you, and hope everyone has a great summer.
It's shaping up to be a great one. Thank
right.
you. And that is it for this month's Out and About show. I want to thank all our guests today. If you missed any of the events, stay tuned. We'll be running a list right after this show. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you out and about.